Welcome to the Living and Active Word podcast. In this week's episode, we'll be talking about the fact that Jesus knows what it's like to be wearied. Let's read verse 5 of chapter 4. So he came to a city of Samaria, which is called Sychar, near the plot of ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. Now Jacob's well was there. Jesus, therefore, being wearied from his journey, sat thus by the well. It was about the 6th hour. So we have Jesus making it to the region of Samaria. And he comes to a place called Sychar, and it gives us the information that this is a piece of ground that Jacob gave his son Joseph. And his well was there. Jacob's well was there. This is going to play into the conversation that Jesus will have with the woman. But we're not there yet. And today I want to focus on verse 6, where it says, Jesus, therefore, being wearied from his journey, sat thus by the well. In this verse, we see Jesus' humanity. We see that he became weary. The word here comes from the idea of working or toiling to the point of exhaustion. And that's what Jesus has done. That's what it says. He's walked so long, so far, that he has become wearied. To me, that is encouraging. Number one, Jesus, it seems to indicate that he was a very poor man. He had nothing. He walked instead of having an animal to ride. In another place, it says that the women provided for him. Jesus humbled himself to the lowest possibilities, to the lowest points, because he wanted to demonstrate what humility was like. He wanted to also relate to all people. I love the fact that Jesus doesn't know by knowledge or understanding, but he knows by experience what it's like to be human. He experienced all that we have experienced. He experienced what it was like to be hungry, as we'll see in the same chapter. He experienced what it was like to be tired, as we read here, or in pain physically or emotionally. He knew all about being betrayed and having people reject him and being hurt and being sad. Even in one place of the scriptures, in the book of Isaiah, it says that he, the Messiah, is a man acquainted with grief. Jesus knows what it's like to walk on this earth. It's not a matter of if we will get tired and wearied by this life, by our own actions, or just because of life. It's when we get tired. What will we do? Where do we go? I think very simply, he gives us an example. He rests. He sits down. How many of us do that? Do we rest in the Lord? First, we are to rest. And then, while we sit in his presence, while we seek him, and we ask him to refresh us and restore us by his presence, then that comes. But first, we must rest. The Bible states this over and over, that we should rest. Yes, physically, but also emotionally. And also spiritually, we need to rest in Christ. So he rests by the well, we're going to see. And then he's going to have a conversation. He is also going to say, my food, or what refreshes me, is to do the will of the Father. But for us, we are, as followers of God, as limited human beings, are called to come to the feet of Jesus, or to God. So Hebrews 4, verses 14 through 16 say this: Seeing then that we have a great high priest who has passed through the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold fast our confession. For we do not have a high priest who cannot sympathize with our weakness, but in all points tempted as we are, yet without sin. Let us therefore come boldly to the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. And that's exactly what we need to do. We need to rest, and then we need to come to his feet and ask for that grace and that mercy. Ask for him to refill us. Ask for him to refresh us and replenish us and make us new again. Ask him for his Spirit again, as Ephesians chapter 5 tells us. Being filled with the Spirit. And that's what the answer is. When you're feeling wearied, when you're feeling tired, that's what we're called to do. And so I have to ask you that question. Are you weary? Are you exhausted right now? Well, go to Jesus. Not anything else, not anywhere else. no place, no item will do what only God can do. And finally, I want to leave you with these verses from Isaiah chapter 40, starting in verse 28. Have you not known? Have you not heard? The everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, neither faints nor is weary. His understanding is unsearchable. He gives power to the weak, and to those who have no might, he increases strength. Even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young man shall utterly fall. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. The solution to our weariness, the solution to our exhaustion is receiving strength from God, is receiving power from God, receiving grace from Him in time of need. Thank you for listening, and God bless.